Put it up.
Okay, good win for us today. I didn't think there was anything fancy or exceptional. I thought both teams played pretty well. It was a really methodical game. We defended really well, I thought, in the first half. In the second half, they did a better job of executing their half-court offense. They played really hard. There are times where we had a chance to kind of push a lead, and their effort level, I think, prevented us from doing that. So, real good win for us. Really pleased with a lot of things that happened.
Questions for Coach Johnson?
You mentioned the difference in how you defended between the two halves. What do you sort of take away from that sort of difference?
Well, I think anytime you have good offense and not great defense, it's always two-sided. So some of that was us. We didn't defend some situations well, but some of that was them. They executed very well. They got us in some mismatches. Had some post players on perimeter players out on the perimeter after ball screens. We had some perimeter players on their posts down around the block after ball screens. So they got those mismatches in the second half. In the first half, we defended all that stuff the same way. So it wasn't different sets. They were all the exact same sets. We were a little better in the first half than we did defensively, and they were better in the second half offensively.
Coach, they came in with really good defensive numbers. That's the most points anybody scored on in this season. What do you attribute just being able to break loose a little bit?
Yeah, I just think we're playing really well offensively. There's a lot of confidence on our team. I thought we missed 5-6 shots in the second half, wide open, point blank, threes or mid-range jumpers that could have pushed that 10-point lead a little further. And so I thought we played really well offensively, to be honest with you. We just didn't get a lot of transition. I think the last couple games people have watched us run up and down the floor, and that has to do with just not getting stops. First half we got some transition. Second half it was a half-court game. And I think we can play that style. We've done a lot of that. But for us to be really good offensively, we need a little more transition. We just couldn't get to it because our defense wasn't good enough.
Aaron, your impressions, you're going up against a new coach now. The Cats do anything differently than they did a year ago?
Well, you saw him probably 30 times, so you would know more than I would.
No, I wouldn't.
In my impression, yeah, I think they're very different. I think the pace they play at's faster. This game, I don't know if you saw it quite as much because I don't know if they were worried about our tempo or not. But offensively, I think they're quite honestly a little harder to defend because there's so many more options out there. They don't just come down and try and isolate one player, so you can think about stopping one player. And they just play so hard. Every one of their players, every possession is very invested in trying to execute that possession. And that would be something they certainly did last year. But the pace they play at's a little bit different this year, a little more aggressive defensively, I think, this year too. I think in the long run those things will help, definitely help.
Coach Williams thought it was a little early to get into conference standings talk, but how do you guys see that, having a lead now?
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's ever too early or too late. Every game in a conference schedule, if you're trying to win a conference championship, is important. I don't think anybody could ever undervalue a conference victory to the goal of trying to be a conference champion. So they're all important. This one is very important. Oakland and Fort Wayne this weekend will be really important. Now, we don't look at the standings every day. We're not talking about, if we can win here and they can lose here, we're going to have this happen. We don't do any of that. But we do talk about the ultimate goal of trying to compete for a championship, and you have to play every game to do that. So that's how we approach it.
Do you expect then they'll kind of, hang around and, you guys couldn't shake them today. Expect it's going to be that way throughout the course of the race?
I think it's too early to tell where people are going to fall, that's for sure. I don't think that this game was less important. It's very important, but it's too early to tell where people are going to be. I would say this, teams that play really hard, teams that defend really well are going to be there at the end. And USD clearly does that, so I don't have a reason to think it would be.
Coach, I got one, we're doing a story on Ashley. You've had a lot of great seniors come through your program.
Mm-hmm.
We're not trying to compare her to other people and that, but as far as her, she just fits in really well. She always has, hasn't she, in this program from probably day one, hasn't she?
She has. Ashley's been wonderful for us. This year I think she's having certainly a first team all conference, if not a player of the year type year in our conference. She's really hard to defend. Shoots the three really well, she rebounds, she can defend. Her energy on the court is contagious. She's not out there just going nuts, but when she gets that little grin on her face and is feeling good, I think the rest of the team responds to that well. So she's a lot of fun to coach, a lot of fun I'm sure to play with for her teammates too.
As somebody who was a scorer a lot in high school, she's really transitioned well to the defensive side in college basketball.
Yeah, her role has changed with us throughout her career. Early on, she was kind of a role player. She played well with Kristen Rodert and Macy and Jill and Jenny, and now she's really evolved into a leader with her statistics, especially offensively. So it's been fun to see. We've had a lot of players go through that kind of process, but Ashley should get to 1,000 points. She's going to be really one of the better offensive players we've had here in a while, so it's been fun.
Last question, I'm not trying to kick her out the door either too, but time goes fast in college. Do you see it as where, when they come into this program, it seems like you have them for 4 years, but it really doesn't feel that way sometimes, that you wish you could keep them longer?
Yeah, I don't think I have them for 4 years. They probably feel like they have me for 4 years. I don't know if they feel good about that or they feel bad about that. I mean, time does go by fast. The college experience is very precious, and they see teammates go through injuries, they see people go through hardships, and Ashley's had a pretty good run here so far. So if she can finish up her 4 years like she's started this senior year, I think it'll be a real good experience for her. But I've enjoyed every minute coaching her and everybody on the team. It's been a lot of fun.
Anything else for Coach Johnson?
Coach, another you got win 301 tying. Nancy, your mentor and the person who kind of brought you into the women's program.
Mm-hmm.
Just your thoughts on that. That's got to feel just seem a little weird. I'm sure you never thought when she hired you, someday I'm gonna, stand exactly even with Nancy and with that many wins and all that.
Yeah, I think it's awkward. I think because it's in my mind I still look at this as this is kind of still Nancy's program, because before she came here it wasn't what it is now. And a big part of what we've done now has been more of a continuation of what Nancy did, and I have no problem admitting that. You look at some of the other coaches in the area who've had great success on the men's side and women's side, those programs weren't very good when they got there, some of those coaches. And so everything they've done has been kind of their stamp and their fingerprint. And so this one I think is different. I think Nancy still always should deserve a lot of credit, because it was a time where women's basketball here was not where it is now. And so she'll always deserve, I think, the credit for where the program is at. So that's why I think it's awkward.
And last thing, it's a really good rebounding team. They're not especially tall.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that, and how did you guys kind of try and counteract that?
I just think it's the effort again. I think they play hard all the time. They go to the glass. We only gave up 2 in the second half, but they made every shot. So I don't know that I feel better about our rebounding in the second half. We're a pretty good rebounding team though too. So I think that both teams do a good job of that. But they just play really hard with it. They go after every rebound, and that gives them a chance to get it.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Great.